Good morning, cadets. Lieutenant Colonel Hogan here. Want to welcome you to the week of 6 April. This week we are going to be working on geography skills, and in specifics, we're going to look at an overview of the globe. In this big wide world that we live, there are many, many places. I want you to take out a piece of paper right now and write down the name of a place somewhere in the world. It can be a city, it can be a country, it can be anywhere that you think is important right now. Say, for example, you wanted to examine the island of Ireland. So I here have shown a map of Ireland, and I choose to pick Dublin, Ireland as the place that I'm going to study. Okay, but you have to pick your own. So think about the place that you've written down, and I want you to ponder the couple of questions about it. One, where is it, and why is it newsworthy for you? Why is it important for you? And then secondly, how did you pick this place? And lastly, how does this exercise help you understand what you need to know about the world around you? I know a lot of you may be concerned about the coronavirus, and perhaps you picked China or you picked a place where the virus is showing a strong impact. But it's up to you why you picked the place that you picked. So think about what you already know about the globe. Third rock from the sun, and I want you to answer the following question. From largest to smallest of land masses, which order is correct? A. Asia, Africa, South America, North America. B. Africa, Europe, North America, South America. C. North America, South America, Antarctica, and Europe. Or D. South America, Europe, Australia, Antarctica. Now, if you don't know the answer, perhaps you would pick E. None of the above. Because the answer that the Army has provided us in its JROTC lesson is incorrect. In fact, none of these answers up here are correct. So I want you to bring your attention to the student learning plan, which is also published in the weekly folder. So I will not go over that right now. But I will tell you that the question that you're trying to answer this week is what are the benefits of learning about the globe, and why is this important to you right now? The learning objectives for the week are to identify the 7 continents on the globe, identify the 4 oceans on the globe, distinguish between the 2 poles on the globe and the latitude and longitude lines on the globe, also to differentiate between the equator and the prime meridian. Your keywords are noted here, and there will be an assessment, a matching quiz at the end of this that you'll have to complete. So let's talk about what the components are that make up a globe. It consists of land masses that you know as continents. It also consists of water bodies that are interrupted by these land masses, and those are called oceans. There are also some seas that are involved in here. Now, largely what we're talking about is physical geography. That's to say, land and water, they're physical aspects of our planet, of our globe. There's also social geography, which is essentially everything that deals with people. So keep that in mind. Now, what this is asking you to do is to develop a graphic organizer that describes the continents, oceans, and poles, as well as the notion of a global grid, which divides the globe up and into specific pieces. What I would like you to do is reference the student text, and I'm going to show you how to access that in just a second, to design your own graphic organizer that talks about these things on the Earth. First of all, I would like you to go open yourself up on a web browser and go to the following site. And this will look very familiar. You're going to usarmyjrotc.com. Once that opens, I'd like you to go down here where it says cadets go down to Cadet Curriculum, click on that. And if you scroll down on Cadet Curriculum, it gives you an opportunity, where am I, to download the Cadet Reference Guide. So click on the Cadet Reference Guide, and once that PDF downloads, I'd like you to download that onto your own hard drive. So you can click Download button here, and then it asks you where you want to park it. And I put mine in Documents, but it's up to you wherever you want to put it. Save, boom, done. Now, once you get that saved, I want to bring your attention, if you scroll down to where it talks about thinking maps and graphic organizers. And this is lesson 5. Click on that and it will open on page, I don't know, 31 or something. And here we have all of the different thinking maps that we've talked about before. And I would ask you then, if you're trying to discuss 7 continents, 4 oceans, and some of the characteristics of each one of those, what graphic organizer might you use? I don't know. Here you have a brace map or a tree map. For example, if you put Earth, what are the 2 basic physical geography things we're talking about here? Oceans, continents. Maybe that would work. Or perhaps you could put Earth, oceans, continents, and then list out the 7 and the 4 oceans and continents, whatever it is. It's up to you. You could use also a concept map or a bubble map. It's up to you. I would argue that perhaps the tree map or the brace map might be a good place to start. Okay, so go ahead and use those as an idea for developing your own graphic organizer that talks about the oceans and the continents. Let's try this as a little pop quiz. Talking about latitude, lines of latitude. If you were at 0 degrees latitude, where would you be? Would you be A, at the North Pole, B, at the South Pole, C, Greenwich, England, or D, on the equator? 0 degrees latitude is D, on the equator. How about this one? Talking about the continents. Asia is the largest continent in A, size, B, population, C, mineral wealth, or D, size and population. Asia is the largest continent in size and population. And I want to bring your attention to a website that talks about all of the continents in reference to size and population. Again, if you go to your Internet Explorer or Safari or some sort of internet browser, go to the following website, which is posted in your weekly assignments folder. It's thoughtco.com, continents ranked by size and population. And the link is in your weekly folder. You don't have to worry about the web address itself. Just click on that link. And what happens is you get the 7 continents ranked by size and population. And if you scroll down, you'll notice that Asia is the largest continent in area. It's also the largest in population. The second largest in area is Africa. Third, North America, land of the free, home of the brave. And 4th, South America. So I'll let you go ahead and scroll through that website at your own time. 5th, Antarctica. 6th, Europe. And 7th, Australia, home of the kangaroo. Now I want you to think all the way back to the very beginning of this class where I asked you to write down the name of a place. It could be a city or a country or what have you. So I want you to refer back to that place. And I would like you to think about some clues. Don't tell me directly what it is, but think about some clues that would help me locate your specific city or country. What continent is it on? What hemisphere is it in? And remember, hemispheres are broken down into east, west, north, and south. and think about maybe where it would be if I was standing on the North Pole. Obviously, I'd have to walk south to get there, but how far would I have to go? Where would I have to go if I was standing on the prime meridian? And then one distinguishing feature about your own city or location. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a discussion in the weekly folder, and I would ask that you post your clues. Don't tell me what the location is, but just post your clues. And cadets, go in and look at the other posts that your classmates have put and see if you can figure out, based on their clues, what their location is. That's your challenge. And when we are all done this week, I would like you to figure out how working on one specific geographic location and providing clues and perhaps doing some research on that location helped you. Did it add to what you already knew? I hope that you found some new information. How did the clues of the other cadets help you? Did it make you perhaps look for something that you didn't know about already? And then I want you to think about the key terms, and we're going to go flip through some flashcards here in a second. And lastly, I'm going to ask you to take a quiz before next Monday. That is a matching quiz about the key terms. All right, well, let's work through the vocabulary words for the week. And since we don't have CPS, I'll just go through these standardized keywords. The first being continent, and the definition being any of the 7 large land masses on the planet. The next being degrees, which is a unit of latitude or longitude equal to 1/360 of the globe, 360 degrees in a circle. Equator, it's an imaginary line at 0 degrees latitude that circles the globe at its widest point, halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. Globe is a sphere-shaped model of the Earth. Hemisphere is half of the Earth, and we talked about that being divided by the equator and the prime meridian, international date line, to north, south, east, west. Latitude is the angular distance north or south of the equator. It's measured in degrees. Latitude is flatitude. Latitude lines go horizontally. Longitude is lines that run from the North Pole to the south, and they run vertically. Meridians is another word for lines of longitude. Ocean is that one continuous body of salt water broken up by the land masses. There's 4 different parts of it: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic. Parallel are lines that do not intersect. Also, these are lines of latitude, or you may have heard them as the parallels. Polar regions are those areas around the North and South Poles. Poles are those points that represent the northernmost and southernmost points on the Earth on the imaginary axis. And prime meridian is 0 degrees longitude, which runs through Greenwich, England. And if you have any questions about that, you can review this at your convenience. Lastly, I'd like to show you what your Schoology course looks like, of course. It's going to be slightly different depending upon what section you're in, but it's going to basically have a weekly files and assignments folder for each week. And in this week, you've got the student learning plan, you've got the continents website, you've got the discussion for the clues about the place that you've chosen, as well as a matching assessment that I'd like you to do called the Globe Overview. Also in here in a second, you're going to see the recording of this, and that will be at the top. So once you get finished with that, go ahead and take a look at the additional items that are in your weekly folder. And then I would also like you to finish up the survey that asks what you wanted to learn about for the remainder of the section. Miss you guys. Hope you're doing well. And I look forward to taking email or questions whenever you have them. Take care.